Do you remember these famous words? Up, up, down, down, left, right, B, A, start. Sometimes you might even throw in a select before the start. This, my friend, is the Konami Code, and it had its humble beginnings on the NES console. So, let's discuss, you guessed it, the Konami Code on the Nintendo Entertainment System. The Konami Code, also known in some circles as the 30 Lives Code, didn't actually start out as the 30 Lives Code. It began with a game called Gradius, or is it Gradius? Anyway, you'd start up this game like normal and play it. When you hit the pause button, you could then input the code and get your ship almost fully powered up. It helps, but you still can't suck at the game and get through it. The next game to feature the code on this list is Life Force, sometimes known as Salamander. This is a spin-off of Gradius. Really, the whole Gradius series and its spin-offs are pretty damn confusing, so we'll just leave the explanation at this. The most important thing here is the effect of the code, which happens to be 30 lives. It seems to be the first case where the code was used to increase the amount of lives, which obviously becomes a trend featured in this next game. Here's the one most everyone knows about, and that is Contra. This is where most people get the select button added into the equation. If you played this co-op, you've probably used the code so you could learn to work together and get a feel for the overall layout of the game. Do you really need the 30 lives code to beat it? Probably not. But there's a certain bit of added fun to be had here by playing with reckless abandon and stealing extra lives from each other as things progress. Of course, like most games that sold well on the NES, there were sequels, and Gradius is no exception. Gradius 2 was put out by Konami in 1988. And this time, there was a code for 30 lives. It was a simple entry at the title screen just like Contra. No BS, just here's 30 lives, now go and kick some ass. By now, the Konami Code was gaining all kinds of traction, and already may have been the most popular Easter egg in gaming of all time. Other companies would want to get in on this hype. And Tetris from the Atari-owned Tengen did just that. Taking a nod from the original way it was implemented in Gradius, if you pause the game and input the code, your block will change from a regular piece to a long one. Guys, I know what you're thinking. If only the Konami Code worked on me to give me a long one. Alright, forget I said that. Thus, if done at the right moment, you'll earn a quick Tetris. From what I can tell, you can only do this once a game. So no, you cannot just create stacks and stacks of long blocks and run up your score. If you want to do that, try Game Genie, or hack the game somehow. Konami started off the year 1990 with Top Gun, the second mission, the sequel to the hit game Top Gun. I'm not sure if it was the movie tie-in that made this popular enough to earn a sequel, or if it was just a straight-up cash grab. Anyway, the code doesn't actually do too much for you other than award you 3 extra planes for every 20,000 points. So if you're trying to beat this game for the first time, it might be worth doing it with this crutch enabled, but it's not going to make getting to that 20 grand any easier. So get good, soldier. North and South is an action strategy game released by Kemco in 1990 that I really have no idea how to play. The code, however, doesn't require you to even try the game, as it's just an all-access pass to the sound test. This is actually one of the cooler sound tests I've seen implemented into a game. It shows the sequences and the separate waves that are used to make up the sounds. It's a cool feature for sure. Cool enough to make me want to play this? Not really, but someday I might, now that I actually know about this game. Zombie Nation is a side-scrolling shooter, where you are a giant head and you pretty much are destroying everything in your path. Don't overthink it, just destroy everything and have fun doing it. What does the code do for you here? Well, you see all those heads at the bottom left of the screen? That's your life bar. If you run out, you get a game over. Obviously, you don't want to run out. The code will allow you to pause the game and refill this bar up once. Alright, now that you're armed with this information, go give him the best head you can. Kid Clown is a Mickey Mouse game that somehow lost its license to use the famous rodent, and not to let a decent game go to waste, it was reskinned with everyone's favorite thing in the world, clowns. What's interesting about this time the code is used is it actually makes the game much more difficult. Enemies are not only faster, but they take twice the normal damage. I guess that's their way to punish the player for using a Konami code on a Kemco game. I wasn't sure where to place this next one on the list. This seems as good a place as any. Released by Konami in Japan in October of 1990, but not outside of Japan until 2019, Kid Dracula is a fun platformer that takes place in a super deformed Castlevania world. The game is full of fun little comedic touches all throughout, and what they did with this code is no exception. Enter it during the title screen, and this message comes up. That's it. The game is frozen now until you hit reset. Very sneaky, kid. We can't have an NES list on this channel and miss out on a chance to show off a homebrew, now can we? Here we have Unchained Nostalgia. This is pretty much a series of nice looking pixel art while a Bit Crush version of Unchained Melody plays in the background. The fun starts when you put the code in, only to see a third bird enter the screen. You take control of this bird and let off poop drops onto your unsuspecting human friend's beautiful scenery below. I love it when programmers have a sense of humor like this, don't you? So that's all I could find for now, Konami codes on the North American version of the NES. However, let's do a few bonus games from overseas, shall we? Crisis Force is a vertical shooter put out by Konami in 1991. You don't get the 30 lives with this one, so you'll have to make do with 15. You know, this is a pretty decent game. Not sure what happened to stop it from being released in North America. If you know, please comment. Another game we didn't get is called Cosmicepsilon by Asmic. This starts off looking really cool, and I heard the code worked on this game, but I had no context to what it might do. With bated breath, I entered the code, and lo and behold, I am not Konami. Konami? What is Konami? This is freaking fantastic, if you ask me. Some people might say Gyrus and TMNT could be included on this list, but technically those don't use the Konami code, but a variation of it. And absolutely the best part of this game is I get to make a quick trip through Uranus. With Gyrus, you put the code in backwards, starting with clicking A, then B, and so on, which gives you 30 lives. And in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3, put in the normal code, only at the end switch the A and B button part. This will bring you to a special options screen, where you can select levels, amount of lives, difficulty, and a sound test. Good stuff. There are a few more NES games that use variations of the code like this, and if you want to see a video on that, just say so in the comments. Did I miss any codes in North American games that you can think of? Let's see those as well. If you like this video, squash that like button, and if you didn't, well, you can slap that other button. Consider subscribing if you haven't already, and until next time, see you soon.